I'm Ron, and welcome to Bits and Bits, the Go-To How channel again. And today we're going to go over part 2 of how to make a soft light for a few dollars. I should have went over a couple of things in part 1 that need to be observed. The first thing I want to say is the bulbs. Remember, the great value bulbs are 40 bucks a piece. That's 10 bucks a bulb. The GE bulbs, which were physically a little bit smaller. There we go. They were also 100 lumens less than the great value bulbs. But these were $32 a box. That's $8 a box because there's 4 in here also. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. The other thing is, I've come across several reports, probably over the last couple of years anyway, where people have gotten shocked screwing in an LED bulb or unscrewing one. And that means they had the power applied. As with any power tool, like a drill or a skill saw, you remove the power before you do anything to your saw. You know, if you have to, replace the blade or something like that, you want to make sure the power is removed. So when you are screwing in one of these bulbs or unscrewing it, make sure you have the plug unplugged from the wall. That will prevent a shock hazard. We don't want anybody getting electrocuted. I would have to safely say if you just touch the top of the bulb, there's going to be no problem. But partway down, there is another layer, you might say. See, I cannot see through that, but that's the only place that I could say that somehow it would arc through and give you a shock. So just be on the safe side and unplug the darn thing. The other thing is, when you make the holes in your light, these holes that we made, if you look on the inside, you'll see that the metal is pushed up. I don't know if we can, there we go, right there on the bottom. You can see a little hunk of metal. That needs to be cut off. So you can take your diagonal cutters, just go in there and just snip it off. There it is, right there. Just snip it off. Or you can take something flat, like a large flat screwdriver blade, get in there and mash them down. You're not going to get your fingers down that far when you're putting in or taking out a bulb. But it's not a good idea to have all those jagged edges up. Or you can put it on a flat surface on this side, and then take a little tiny hammer and just get in there and mash the edges down. They're not going to hurt anything. Now, if you do that, they might close up the hole a little, so you might have to take your round object or your needle nose pliers, get in there and enlarge that hole somewhat. That's really all I wanted to say there. The other thing was the T-shirt circle. Let me show you here. There we go. Here's the T-shirt circle. When I explained on how to mark this last time in part 1, I was actually out of camera view and I was not aware of it at the time. So today I want to make sure it's in camera view and just go over the procedure. It's very, very simple. Take your 6-inch mark on your ruler, put it on the center dot that you made on your T-shirt, 6 inches on the center dot, and you've already got your ruler marked where you're going to cut it out. So take your ruler and put it at 3 and 6 o'clock and mark out here on your T-shirt, right here and right here. Go ahead and use a ballpoint pen and just put a dot there. Then take your ruler and go 12 6 o'clock position. Make sure the center is lined up with 6-inch mark. And again, go to your marks on your ruler and put a dot on the T-shirt. And then go 45 degrees here, put 2 more dots, 45 degrees here, and 2 more dots. Now, in between your dots, you're going to want to put 1 or possibly 2 more dots in there. The more dots you have, the more round that you're going to be able to draw that circle. If your dots are real far apart, it's more or less going to be almost a straight line. So if you've got dots in here, you can actually follow the dots in a curve a lot easier. So go ahead and mark your dots with a ballpoint pen, and do it on a firm surface. If you use something soft like this, you're probably going to poke a hole right through your t-shirt, you know. Anyway, between all the dots, take a number 2 pencil and finish making some more dots between the dots made with the ink pen. And then go ahead and cut that sucker out. That's what was missing in part number 1. I mean, it's self-explanatory if you read the directions in the description. But I just wanted to clarify this. Also, if you should happen to have an 8-inch reflector like this, if you put it down on the circle, it fits in there real nice. Now, one thing to be aware of, though, this particular bulb is one of the older bulbs, the Great Value bulb, so it sticks out a little bit farther. And if you look, you can see it protrudes beyond the rim. So in that case, if you were going to use one of these 8.5-inch reflectors and do the same thing we did with the 5.5-inch reflector by putting some project board or poster board to extend it out, you're going to have to do the same thing with this. If you use one of the GE bulbs, at least the particular ones that I bought, then this bulb is actually going to be recessed. You could actually lay your t-shirt right across the rim and just take your mini binder clips and clip around, and it'll be flat, but it won't be touching the bulb. Also, in these 8.5-inch reflectors, there is only 3 holes around here. So you're going to have to put additional holes, another 2 holes, between the original holes. So that's another 6 holes you've got room for. Because, again, you're going to have heat build up, and the heat's going to be back in there. So you want to make sure you got ventilation back there for the heat to escape. Because when you got this covered, you've got really no airflow going in this way, or actually coming out, whichever way, you know, the wind's going to go. Anyway, that's what I wanted to cover, and it's better to be on the safe side than get shocked along the way or poke yourself or whatever. So I apologize for not covering those 4 aspects that I actually intended to. So again, I would like to thank you for joining me in this learning session, and hope we can do it again. And I want to say good night, and I just have some final words for you.